viewers, welcome to another exciting episode of our interview series on NDDC at 25. Today we have the privilege of having our chairman, Barrister Chiedu Ebie, in our midst to discuss some of the reflections, insights, and the way forward for NDDC at 25. Once again, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Obi.
Sir, I would like to start softly by asking and saying that you have been on the saddles for over a year now.
Yep.
How has it been like for you as the chairman of NDDC Governing Board?
Well, it's been interesting. First of all, when you get elevated to a higher pedestal, then it comes with enormous responsibilities and expectations. Of course, as you know, NDDC covers 9 states, yes. And it's the foremost developmental agency or interventionist agency. Expectations are high. There's a lot of work to do. So it's been challenging. You have to manage the expectations of a lot of people. You have to make sure that the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President is implemented at the regional level. And then, more importantly, is that you have to ensure that you change the narrative that people had about NDDC. So it's almost like some form of transformation that we've embarked upon.
You know, this 25 years anniversary is a big deal, and we've been drumming it all over the region. What does it mean for NDDC?
25 years is a long time. Now, it depends on who you ask the question. I tell you, some people will say NDDC hasn't achieved much in 25 years. But for us in NDDC, we know that we've done a lot. When you go to certain parts of the Niger Delta region, the only presence you have in some of those places is NDDC. A lot of them are remotely located or riverine communities. So we know that in 25 years, NDDC has done a lot, but can do more and can do better. And so that's why the most important thing for us is this reforms and improvements that we're carrying out, so that at the end of the day, we can say that at least we put some legacy projects on ground, that when we look back, we know that we've done something. So it's nice that 25 years later, NDDC today is definitely better than NDDC of before. And we can proudly say so and beat our chest.
Okay, talking about legacy projects, what key strides have this present board taken to reposition NDDC?
First things first, as mundane and as is, we've been able to build stability and peace, which a lot of people take for granted. And I say to you, the times we used to hear about NDDC, NDDC was always in the news for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
So, and it starts with us on the board, because if we're not able to work harmoniously and ensure that we do things the right way and people get along, and that the board is not polarized, then it means the commission is not polarized, and it means that we spend more time focusing on positive things as against negative things. So that's the first thing. Then stakeholder engagement is also something that we've embarked on. You're definitely not going to be able to please everybody. But once you go out there and they see sincerity of purpose and you're able to interact with them, at least to a large extent, then you know that the mischief makers will not have any opportunity to come up. So we've stabilized things, there's peace, we're able to focus on the mandates given to us.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Like you rightly said, 25 years. These 25 years, can you take us through some of the milestones?
In no particular order. When you talk of human capital, we have the scholarship program. And so we're developing indigenes of the region and through a process that we can say is transparent, process that where you have over 20,000 that apply for 200 slots. So you can imagine how we have to go through the selection process. And more importantly is that after that process is completed and the students go there, NDDC doesn't owe. So they have their monies, they're able to face their studies, they're able to look after themselves and focus on it and complete it. So we're empowering them with postgraduate degrees with the hope that when they're done, they will come back with additional educational qualifications. So that's education, which is very important. Very recently, we had the sports festival, first of its kind. So yet again, discovering talent that you will nurture, mentor, and hopefully one day, one of the discoveries from the sports festival will be at the Olympics, or will be at the World Cup, or will be at a global sporting event. And that's aside from the normal, empowerments that you do from time to time. So human capital, infrastructural development is there. Sadly, and there's underdevelopment in the country. You can't deny that. So it takes a lot for you to, people will go to certain places and say, oh, what is NDDC doing? But we do the major interventions in the region. The intervention is not our primary responsibility, but when there are problems on the major highways, NDDC goes. NDDC has intervened in the East-West Road. NDDC has intervened on the Warri Benin Road. NDDC has intervened on the Eku Agbo Road. NDDC has intervened in so many other roads. So we do that, and then a couple of, I think last year or so, there was the Ogbeaneme 28-kilometer road, which was a tripartite agreement between NDDC, Shell, and I think the Bayelsa State government as well, or Shell and their JV partners. And then lastly, which is, we really didn't even realize the impact of the Niger Delta project. Yet again, rural communities, riverine communities, even urban centers, you go there and you see, because of the epileptic power supply in the country, you see people sleeping or staying outside their houses till very late at night because of the solar street lights. You see students reading, there's not what you expect, it's not what you want, but that's the reality. So we've deployed, I can't say the exact quantity in terms of number of streetlights, but it's easily running into probably over 100,000 or thereabout across the region. So it's very impactful. The most important thing is doing things that impact the region and impact the people positively.
Chairman, talking about programs and projects that impact the people of Nigeria. The free healthcare mission, one of them. Can you tell us about
I think as human beings, the two most important things for us is, as a human being, is health and education. Mm-hmm. When you, it's amazing what the free health mission, medical mission, does. The surgeries that are carried out, the people that are attended to. I mean, and it's phenomenal because the amount of people that we're able to attend to is just wonderful. So it's something that we did, and just recently we launched this year's own with the First Lady in Bayelsa. We're looking forward to more of the medical missions because we need to take these things to the communities that don't really have access to medical facilities or medical treatment. So we're going to make sure that we improve on it because it's very good now, but we just need to make sure we improve on it. We need to make sure that more people have access to it. And that way we're saving lives, we're treating people, and we're ensuring that the people of the region at least have access to this healthcare. So that's also one of our flagship projects as well.
Doing all of this, it requires a lot of funding. How has NDDC been dealing with the funding challenges?
You know, the law is clear on the funding of NDDC. We've, unfortunately, you don't get what is specified in the law. The percentage from the state government and from the federation account. We've appealed to the federal government through the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy. And I know that discussions are ongoing because we need the funds to be able to carry out all these projects. We need the funds. We were also at some stage appealing to Mr. President to see if we could be taken out of TSA, because when you think of some of the infrastructural projects vis-a-vis the terrain, the topography, and the fact that by the time the rains come, you literally have only 5 or 6 months to carry out some infrastructural development projects. So you need bulk money so that you can, as against your monthly subvention that you get. So funding is very important. We're hoping that at least some of the backlogs or the outstanding funds due to NDDC, because we are not always given the exact amount. We don't sit at FAC meetings, so we don't know. It's just what they say. This is what is due you at the end of the month. So we're hoping that working with RAMFAC and the Ministry of Finance, we should be able to deal with this issue so that at least adequate funding will be there for us to execute these projects as and when due.
Thank you so much, Chairman. From all you have said, it is true that NDDC has done so much and is still doing more to improve the lives of the people of the Niger Delta. So looking at the next 25 years after this, what are the top priority projects that NDDC is planning to execute to move the region to the next level and the next phase?
Couple of projects. You just need to look at what are the different things that need to be done. Now we're in the digital space or digital economy. So I know that we're trying to come up with some of these digital or IT centers in each state, because you don't want to be left behind.
Yeah.
You need to move with the times. Yeah. You need to make sure that everybody is into the fast-paced digital world. Just today, the MD and I were talking about transportation within the region as well. How can we create a transportation system within the region? As you know, at the federal level, they're deploying the CNG buses as well. Yeah. So we want to also look at that. Those will be, those are projects that would cut across the entire region. So we, of course, ours is, for me, I always say that in everything you're doing, you need to have sincerity of purpose and integrity. And so that way you can make sure you do the right thing. And when you look back after your tenure, or if you're looking forward, posterity should judge you fairly for doing what you ought to have done. So we will definitely, as a board, working closely with management and the National Assembly, we would need to appropriate more funds for us and also make sure that the funds are available. We will do what we need to do in terms of ensuring that human capital is developed, right infrastructural projects are deployed so that the region is developed.
Chairman, the truth is that NDDC cannot do this entire thing alone. How are you collaborating with state governors and other stakeholders to achieve everything you have set out to achieve in NDDC and in the region at large?
We continue to have regular interactions with stakeholders, which is very important because especially the critical stakeholders. As you may be aware, for the first time in probably the history of NDDC, or maybe the second time, I'm not too sure, the advisory council or advisory committee was inaugurated. I think it was the very first time. And this advisory committee comprises the governors of the 9 NDDC states. Even if it wasn't the first time, but maybe this is, even if it's the second time, this is probably the first time in a very long time. Now, what this means is that we're able to synergize and have periodic interactions with the governors because they serve in the advisory council. It's never been in existence. Because, like, as an interventionist agency, it's not our primary responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes, we intervene when the need arises, and we must have that synergy with the state governments so that there's no duplication of projects. Because in time past, you were faced with that. You go to, you want to build a school, you go to a community, and somebody hasn't done a needs assessment. When you get there, you find that there's already something there going on in that school. But with close collaboration and periodic interactions, we would definitely ensure that that doesn't occur. So we focus and pay a lot of attention on collaborating closely with the state governments. We're not in competition with anybody. We're not trying to prove anything. We're just there to make sure that at the end of the day, the people of the region benefit as best possible as they can, especially from the federal, state, and local governments as well.
Right.
Planning is key. The NDDC master plan expired in 2020. There are plans to create a new one, remodel what was existing, and what will be the suggestion in this regard?
Yes, like you rightly said, planning is the most important thing. If you don't have any plan, everything you're doing can just fall like a pack of cards. You call it a renewal of the master plan is ongoing. At the last retreat we had, there was an elaborate session on master plan, which has been worked on and has actually been completed. But as you know, it entails a lot of work. So it's taken a lot longer, but at least I'm pleased. And from the last report we got, it's been completed. The presentation was made, and we're just in the final stages where it needs to be presented to the board. So I'm pleased to say, and I can proudly beat my chest and say that the master plan that has expired is being worked on, and so at least we'll have a new master plan that will take us for the next decade or so. So yes, that was an area that we focused on and made sure that we got it off the ground. So the people of the region will be proud that we've also ticked that box as well.
Having plans and structuring, the NDDC engaged KPMG to help to work out new corporate governance structure. And they came out with a report. The implementation started. Can you tell us more about this?
I think, yet again, this is another area where we should be given the thumbs up. You call in one of the big 5 consulting firms to come and prepare governance structure for you. Therefore means that you want to make sure that you play by the book. KPMG, I remember when we just came in, it was one of the very first things we dealt with the new board when we were inaugurated towards the end of 2023, and they came and made a presentation to us. A year later, or a year plus later, I'm proud to say that that assignment has been completed and it's been presented to the board as well. And at our last board meeting, we deliberated on the KPMG report. And essentially, it's just ensuring that we have very strong governance principles or structure in place where we will be guided by those things. Little things like, how many times do you have a board meeting? That's the frequency of the board meeting. Financial provisions, the roles and responsibilities of everyone within the commission, especially at the board and management level as well. So it's been approved by the board, and I'm very pleased to say that the board has considered and approved it, and it's now the implementation. That's the next step. So one thing is certain, by the time this board, tenure of this board comes to an end, we would have new governance structure comparable to international best practice that you would have anywhere, as prepared by KPMG.
Well, thank you so much, sir. As we round up, what message would you like to share with Niger Delta stakeholders and the Nigerian public as NDDC enters the next phase of 25 years?
First thing is that, as can be seen, everybody knows that Mr. President has the best interest of the region. We can't always ask for time, but all we say is be patient. For those people that know we have the best of intentions. We're as sincere as possible and as transparent as possible, and sincerity of purpose for us in doing things. So we will continue to do our best, and we hope that at the end of the day, we will do enough to improve the lot of the people of the Niger Delta region.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
viewers. We hope that the chairman has been able to speak your mind from his insights and reflections. We hope to move the NDDC forward as we celebrate 25 years anniversary. Thank you for staying with us.
Kudos to 25 years of NDDC and to the people of the Niger Delta region. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding. And to the staff of NDDC, thank you for all the hard work you do.